Chloe is looking out the window. She seems curious, with a wondering look in her eyes. There is an ice cream truck and the birds are in the sky, but they aren't moving. Suddenly her dad grabs her and pulls her back quickly from the view of the outside, and tells her she needs to be a better hider to stay safe, and he tapes up the windows and any kind of opening. As they are cooking together, Chloe practices her lines saying she is Eleanor Reed, her birthday, her new family's name and hobbies. They go over the plan if he doesn't come back, which is for Chloe to hide in the closet, and if she runs out of food to go across the street and tell the neighbors Steve and Nancy, and give them all the money if they agree to take care of her. Then they play poker together while they eat, but she beats him. His eyes start to bleed and he wipes it away. And it's clear that this is a normal thing, when Chloe asks him if her mom's eyes bled, and if her own eyes were going to bleed. He tells her that he hopes they don't, but to tell him if they do. Chloe can't sleep, so she draws on her pillow a woman and calls it Mom and hugs it. There's a noise. Chloe grabs her flashlight and goes towards it nervously. The door to her closet rattles with a loud bang. She moves closer, breathing heavily. She's scared. She opens the door and there is a woman in there screaming at her. Chloe goes to her corner and draws what she saw. She gets her dad, but there is nothing in the closet. He sleeps with her, but he says he can't protect her if he falls asleep. In the morning, she hears something at the door. Someone throws in a book through the mail slot. She takes it to her bed to read. There's pictures of the ice cream truck that stands outside and the man who runs it. When she looks out the window, the truck is there. There's also the neighbor girl, Harper, buying ice cream. And Chloe whispers to her to bring her the ice cream. Harper is at the door and giving her the ice cream she wanted. Chloe opens the door and as she reaches for the ice cream, Chloe's dad jumps in and stops them. Then Harper's mom, Nancy, comes by and they meet. Chloe's dad is confused why Harper knew Chloe's name when they haven't met before. He's convinced Chloe is lying to him, and he locks her in the closet as punishment, telling her that she almost got them killed. But he agrees to get her the ice cream. Hey, quick reminder to click that subscribe button and become part of our family. We have amazing recaps on the way that you don't want to miss out on. Later, her dad barges in with a gun in hand. He looks hurt and running away from something. He goes to clean himself up and bandage his wound, but Chloe only wants one thing, her ice cream. But he didn't bring her, and she shouts at him, but he lost too much blood and passes out. That's when a force field disappears and the birds start moving again. Chloe gets some money from the safe and sneaks out of the house. The sky, the leaves, the birds, everything seems so new and exciting to her. Then she heads to the ice cream truck where she is greeted by an old man. He tells her she's safe and convinces her to come into his truck with ice cream. They head to the park, and she sees a poster with a man bleeding from his eyes like her dad, warning people from them. She plays on the swing and the old man asks her questions, but she just wants to go higher, but he scares her so she gets down. The old man tells her about her mom and that she was famous and people were scared of her, that her mom was not dead but in a mountain. That's when a cop shows up. Chloe tells the cop that she doesn't know the old man, but he says he is her grandpa. The old man tells her that the cop is dangerous. And when she tells the cop to go away, he stops pointing the gun at them and simply walks away. Chloe's dad wakes up and frantically calls her, but she's in her room coloring and he apologizes about the ice cream, but they fight about him lying to her. That night, Chloe is looking at the picture of her mom when the loud banging noise comes back. She goes to it again and finds her mom, but she's cold and scared and chained down. Her mom shouts at her, so Chloe runs out of the closet. Chloe goes downstairs and finds her dad asleep watching TV. So she takes his headset and listens as the people talk about people who are not normal. The host asks the agent why she calls them abnormal instead of freaks, and explains that they need to be taken care of because they are dangerous. Chloe opens the door and goes into the closet to comfort her mom. Her mom tells her that she's not dead, but she's surprised how much she grew up, because it's only been a few months since they were separated, and they talk about Chloe and her dad moving on. Chloe then tells her dad about all of it, and that she wants to move in with Nancy. She decides to put him to sleep with the powder and go. She gives him a drink and says sorry, but he spots some powder and realizes what she is trying to do. Chloe runs to the door, but he catches her, and she tells him to go to sleep, so he falls over and sleeps. As soon as he does, the force field around the house disappears again. That's when her eye bleeds. She takes lots of cash and heads for the neighbor's house, but she's caught by her grandpa in his ice cream truck. She tells him she's going to get a new mom, but he says they'll go get her real mom. They go into a diner, and the government agent that was on TV was sitting there talking to a man. Chloe's grandpa pretends to be a priest and tells the agent he has something to tell her in private, so the agent sends the man away. He tells the agent that she has to take him and Chloe to the mountain. He tells her a story that Chloe was left at his doorstep as a child, and he took care of her, but he knew she was an abnormal. The agent shines a black light on her face and sees the blood was on her face, But when checked his face, there was nothing. When the agent asks her who she is, Chloe tells her the story she practiced with her dad. But Chloe runs off into the kitchen and he follows her. That's when the agent calls in her team. Chloe and her grandpa were arguing in the diner's kitchen, and they found the cook was there listening. The cook tried to play it off and say he didn't hear or care about their argument, but her grandpa calmly borrows the cook's pen and stabs him with it in his eye. When the cook came stumbling out of the kitchen with a bleeding eye, the agents immediately shot him down, saying he is abnormal. In the kitchen, the grandpa holds Chloe and disappears. That is the power that he has. On the ride home, Grandpa explains to Chloe that the mountain is just a prison, and anyone like them would be killed just like the cook, and he is trying to save his daughter. Chloe's mother from that mountain, so her grandpa tells her he is going to take her to his apartment, but she tells him to take her back home. And he fights her command back during that Chloe's dad time jumps right in front of them. She jumps out and starts to tell her dad what happened, but he goes over to the old man. They clearly know each other as he calls Chloe's dad by his name, Henry. But he takes the old man and his truck somewhere. Chloe's dad then comes back instantly and carries her back to the house, but she commands him to put her down, so he does, and she runs over to the neighbors, but a car was coming fast, and her dad quickly picks her up to save her. That's when he told her everything. He kept her in the house with a time bubble, which is how it was 7 years for the two of them, but for the outside world it was only a few months. Chloe and her dad go to the neighbor's house, and the man opens the door. He didn't want to let them in, but when he saw the money, he agreed. It turns out they had a previous deal where they get paid lots of money every month to take care of Chloe. But Harper tells her parents that Chloe makes her do things at night. And that gets Nancy to disagree to the whole thing. That's when Chloe commands Nancy to say she loves her and she can't resist. When she finds out what happened, Nancy and the whole family, including Chloe's dad, freak out, so he gives them the money anyway. So they police and he takes Chloe back to the house. Back at the house, the old man is tied to a chair and her dad takes Chloe to the closet. In the closet, she finds her mom, who sings her a song to calm her down, but a guard comes in and drags her mom away. Chloe's dad tries to board up the door so she won't escape despite her apologizing. She warns him that she will kill him if he doesn't let her out. He keeps bolting the screws in, and that's when Chloe controls his body and puts the drill right to his neck until he says he'll let her out, so she lets him go. Chloe tells them that her mom is alive, and they argue about it, but think about a way to rescue her. But Chloe hears Nancy talking to the police. Chloe projects the image of them talking in the living room. Chloe then controls the policeman and uses his pen to stab Nancy in the eye just like her grandpa. When the police arrived, they assumed that Nancy was the abnormal person, so they shot her on sight. Chloe then projects her mom. That's when Chloe's dad finds out that she wasn't dead. She was tied to a stretcher with the guard and a doctor that is going to inject her with something to kill her. And just as the doctor was about to inject her mom, Chloe takes control of him and makes him inject the serum into himself, killing him instantly. Then Chloe takes control of the guard, freeing her mom's hands and legs. The doorbell rings, it's the agent, and Henry immediately freezes the time. Grandpa gives Henry a shirt and hydrogen peroxide to clean the blood from his eyes, so it won't be seen by the black light. He cleans up and opens the door and talks to her, trying to pretend to be a developer who doesn't live in the house. Chloe's mom tells her that she needs to get out of the prison before the alarm goes off. Henry tries to get rid of the agent, but she orders him to sit down. She tells him she knows who he is. She catches him in a lie and says she also knows that Chloe is hiding upstairs. Meanwhile, Chloe is helping her mom escape using the guard to get past the security. Grandpa, being invisible, slowly pulls the agent's gun from her own holster and points it at her head from behind. But she knew he was there and tells him to put the gun down because it's what's best for Chloe, as the agents will immediately send a missile to the house if the agent is found dead. As Chloe was using the guard to take her mom out of the prison, she hears the other guards looking for the doctor and panics and rushes to stop the guard, but she gets caught on camera and the alarm is sounded in the prison. The alarm is also heard inside the house because Chloe projected it there. The agent took that chance to take the gun back and she shoots Henry in the process. She radios outside to stop the missile and tells them she's coming out with Chloe. But when the agent sees what Chloe is doing, she shoots at her, but Grandpa was in front of her and took the bullet. That's when Chloe takes control of the agent and makes her shoot herself. Chloe then takes control of the guard again and makes him kill himself. Outside, when the agents hear gunshots, they call on the radio. But Henry answers and says he has taken the agent hostage. When he sees them about to storm the house, he freezes the time again. He then goes out and shoots the 3 agents at the front gate. This makes them launch the missile. Chloe controls the minds of the guards to turn the alarm off and gets her mom to escape. Chloe's mom then takes off flying with a big shockwave that destroys the compound. As the missile reaches the house, Henry slows down the time and carries Chloe out of the house with his last bit of energy. The agents look for survivors in the wreck. But Chloe's mom arrives and takes them all out with ease and flies away with Chloe in her arms. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stick around, and if you want to see more unknown recaps, click the suggested video. See you there.